Hare Krishna everyone, welcome back to the reading of teachings of Queen Kunti by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And this is Shravanam Diaries podcast. I'm your host Sulalita Devidasi. We are starting chapter number 22, Beauty in Krishna's Presence. Neyam shobhishyate tatra yathyedanim gadadhara Tvatpadair ankita bhati svalakshana vilakshitah. O Gadadhara, Krishna, our kingdom is now being marked by the impressions of your feet, and therefore it appears beautiful. But when you leave, it will no longer be so. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8.39. Purport. There are certain particular marks on the feet of the Lord which distinguish the Lord from others. The marks of a flag, thunderbolt, and instrument to drive an elephant, and also an umbrella, lotus, disc, etc., are on the bottom of the Lord's feet. These marks are impressed upon the soft dust of the land where the Lord traverses. The land of Hastinapura was thus marked while Lord Sri Krishna was there with the Pandavas, and the kingdom of the Pandavas thus flourished by such auspicious signs. Kunti Devi points out these distinguished features and is afraid of ill luck in the absence of the Lord. In the Chanakya Shloka, the instructions of the great moralist Chanakya Pandit, there is this very nice verse. Prithivi bhushanam raja narinam bhushanam patih Sharvari bhushanam chandro Vidya sarvasya bhushanam. Everything looks beautiful when one is intimately related with it. The sky, for example, becomes beautiful in relationship with the moon. The sky is always present, but on the full moon night, when the moon and stars shine brightly, it looks very nice. Similarly, the state looks very well if there is a good government with a good king or president. Then everyone is happy and everything goes on well. Also, although girls are naturally beautiful, a girl looks especially beautiful when she has a husband. Vidya sarvasya bhushanam. But if a person, however ugly, is a learned scholar, that is his beauty. Similarly, everything will look beautiful when Krishna is present. Therefore, Kunti Devi thinks, as long as Krishna is with us, everything in our kingdom and our capital, Hastinapura, is beautiful. But when Krishna is absent, our kingdom will not be beautiful. She says, Krishna, you are now walking in our kingdom, and the impressions of your footprints are marking everything beautiful. There is sufficient water and fruit, and everything looks beautiful, but when you leave us, it will not look beautiful. Unquote. It is not that this applied only when Krishna was present and Kunti was speaking. Rather, the truth is always the same. Despite the advancement of our civilization, if we cannot bring Krishna and Krishna consciousness into the center of everything, our civilization will never become beautiful. Those who have joined the Krishna consciousness movement were beautiful before they joined, but now that they have become Krishna conscious, they look especially beautiful. Therefore, the newspapers often describe the devotees as bright-faced. Their countrymen remark, "How joyful and beautiful these boys and girls have become." At the present time in America, many of the younger generation are confused and hopeless, and therefore they appear morose and black-faced. Why? Why? Because they are missing the point. They have no aim in life. But the devotees, the Krishnites, look very beautiful because of the presence of Krishna. Therefore, what was a fact 5,000 years ago, during the time of the Pandavas, is still a fact now. With Krishna in the center, everything becomes beautiful, and Krishna can become the center at any time. Krishna is always present, and we simply have to invite him. "My Lord, please come and be in the center." That's all. Haribol, that's all. To give the same example I have given before, 0 has no value, but if we bring the number 1 and place it by the side of 0, the 0 becomes 10. So one need not stop whatever one is doing. We never say stop everything material. One simply has to add Krishna. Of course, we have to give up anything which is against Krishna consciousness. It is not that because we do not stop material duties, we should not stop meat eating. We must stop it, for this is contrary to advancement in Krishna consciousness. One cannot commit sinful activities and at the same time advance in Krishna consciousness. But Krishna says, "Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami." Surrender unto me and I shall rescue you by giving you liberation from all kinds of sinful reactions. Unquote. Every one of us, life after life, is knowingly or unknowingly committing sinful activities. I may knowingly kill an animal, and that is certainly sinful. But even if I do it unknowingly, it is also sinful. While walking on the street, we unknowingly kill so many ants, and in the course of our other ordinary dealings, while cooking, while taking water, while using a mortar and pestle to crush spices, mortar and pestle to crush spices, we kill so many living beings. Unless we remain Krishna conscious, we are liable to be punished for all these unknowingly committed sinful acts. If a child unknowingly touches fire, does it mean that the fire will excuse the child and not burn? No. Nature's law is so strict, so stringent, that there is no question of an excuse. Even in ordinary law, ignorance is no excuse. If we go to the court and say, "I did not know that this action was criminal," this plea does not mean that we shall be excused. Similarly, ignorance is no excuse for transgressing nature's laws. Therefore, If we actually want to be free from the reactions of sinful life, we must be Krishna conscious, for then Krishna will free us from all sinful reactions. It is therefore recommended Kirtaniya Sada Hari. One should always chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, so that Krishna will save us. We should always keep Krishna within our minds, for Krishna is like the sun. This is the motto of our Back to Godhead magazine. Krishna Surya Samamaya Haya Andakara, Yahan Krishna Tahan Nahi Maya Adhikara. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 22.31. Krishna is just like the brilliant sun, and Maya, ignorance, is just like darkness. When the sun is present, there cannot be darkness. So if we keep ourselves in Krishna consciousness always, we cannot be influenced by the darkness of ignorance. Rather, we shall always walk very freely in the bright sunshine of Krishna. Kunti Devi therefore prays that Krishna continue to be present with her and the Pandavas. In fact, however, Krishna was not leaving the Pandavas, just as he never left Vrindavan. In the Shastra, the Vedic literature, it is said Vrindavanam parityaja nopadam ekam gachati. Krishna never goes even one step from Vrindavan. He is so much attached to Vrindavan. How is it then that we see that Krishna left Vrindavan and went to Mathura and then far away to Hastinapura and did not return for many years? Actually, Krishna did not leave, for all the inhabitants of Vrindavana after Krishna left were always thinking of him and crying. The only engagement of Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaja, Radharani and all the gopis, cows, calves and cowherd boys was to think of Krishna and cry. And in this way they felt Krishna to be present, because Krishna's presence can be felt more strongly in separation from him. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching, to love Krishna in separation. Shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thought everything is vacant without Govinda, without Krishna. Everything was vacant. But Krishna consciousness was there. When we see everything as nothing, but have only Krishna consciousness, we shall have attained the highest perfection. Therefore the gopis are so exalted. Having attained this perfection, they could not forget Krishna even for a single moment. When Krishna went to the forest with his cows and calves, the minds of the gopis at home was disturbed. Oh, Krishna is walking barefoot, they thought. There are so many stones and nails on the path, and they must be pricking Krishna's lotus feet, which are so soft that we think our breasts hard when Krishna puts his lotus feet upon them. Thus they would cry, absorbed in these thoughts. The gopis were so anxious to see Krishna back home in the evening that they would stand on the path looking to see Krishna returning with his calves and cows. This is Krishna consciousness. Krishna cannot be absent from a devotee when the devotee is intensely absorbed in Krishna thought. Here Kunti Devi is very much anxious, thinking that Krishna will be absent. But the actual effect of Krishna's physical absence is that he becomes more intensely present within the mind of the devotee. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by the example of his actual life, taught Vipralamba Seva, service of Krishna in separation. Tears would come from his eyes like torrents of rain, for he would feel everything to be vacant for want of Krishna. Jai. We're going to stop here for today. It's a very advanced topic, but by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada we can also contemplate and meditate upon this. Tomorrow we shall continue with Sambhoga and Vipralamba with this entire chapter. So thank you so much for tuning in today. The link to this book is in the description, and we shall see you next time. Please check out our website shravanamdiaries.com. You will find the catalog of all the books we've read so far and the episode's timeline. So we shall see you next time. Hare Krishna.